Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Lex.
And I'm Vera. Great to be here.
Today we're diving deep, really cutting through the complexity around system integration. We want to bring Australian business owners, C-level executives, some really vital insights.
Insights on unlocking efficiency and growth, right? Using powerful integration.
Exactly. We've gone through a whole stack of material guides, briefing docs, website info, all focused on C9. They're Australia's leading experts in this space. And our mission for this deep dive is pretty straightforward. Equip you with the key takeaways. How to streamline your systems, how to seriously improve data quality, and really drive that sustainable growth for your business.
Yeah, look, in today's digital world, just having the latest software, well, it isn't enough, is it?
No, not really.
It's fundamentally about how well your existing systems talk to each other. We see it all the time. Businesses with great tools, but they operate in silos.
Right, creating bottlenecks, bad data.
Exactly. Data silos, workflow nightmares. So the big question is, how can Australian businesses get their different apps working together as one unit, not just a bunch of isolated islands?
Okay, so if these separate systems are the problem, what's the fix? This is where API and direct integration come in. They sound technical maybe, but their impact is profound.
Absolutely.
Let's just quickly clarify what we mean by those terms before we jump into the impact.
Streamlining your systems for Australian business success. IDE. The core problem in C9's solution, API and direct integration.
Okay, definitions first, straight from the source material. An API application programming interface. Basically, it's a set of rules, protocols, that let different software talk to each other, share data.
Think of it like maybe a universal translator, or that universal remote you mentioned.
Yeah, good analogy. It lets them interact without needing to know all the messy details behind the scenes. And then there's direct integration.
Right. That's more about connecting systems directly.
Yeah.
Often involves custom code, maybe specific connectors, not necessarily a standard API approach.
So these two, API and direct integration, they're the backbone. How systems communicate, share data, and crucially, how they get tailored for a specific business need.
The why behind this is so important, especially, I think, for the Australian market. C9's expertise here in API and direct integration,
Right.
it's really aimed at a clear goal.
Which is?
Well, things like boosting efficiency, improving data quality, accuracy, and ultimately driving sustainable growth. It's about unlocking the full potential of the systems you already have.
Making them work together, not just sit there.
Exactly. Not operating as frustrating, disconnected silos, getting more value from your existing investments.
And C9, their services go way beyond just plugging A and B right. The sources show a whole suite of integration and automation services. Real transformation stuff.
Definitely.
First up, API development. Creating those custom APIs for secure communication. Can you maybe paint a picture? A typical scenario where a custom API just changes everything for an Aussie business.
Oh, absolutely. Let's think about, say, a regional wholesale distributor here in Australia, right?
Okay.
They get online orders, maybe through their e-commerce site. But their warehouse system, the one handling stock and dispatch, it's older, legacy maybe, it doesn't talk to the website.
I see the problem. Manual data entry.
Tons of it. A team literally rekeying every single online order into the warehouse system.
Right.
Then after shipping, manually updating the website stock levels. Think about the delays, the errors.
Especially during peak times. Christmas rush, EOFY sales.
Nightmare. Customers getting out of stock notices for the things they just bought. So C9 comes in, they develop a custom API. Now the e-commerce site talks directly to the warehouse system. Orders go straight through, inventory updates happen in real time.
So no more manual entry, faster dispatch.
And a much, much better customer experience. That's the tangible impact.
That's a great example. Okay, beyond custom APIs, they also do Robotic Process Automation, RPA.
RPA, yeah. It's like having a digital assistant, a software robot.
Mimicking human actions. Clicking, typing, grabbing data.
Exactly. Yeah. Automating those really repetitive rule-based tasks. Think about invoice processing, data migration, freeing up your human team for stuff that needs, well, a human brain, higher value work.
That's huge. And then there's AI integration.
Bringing artificial intelligence into your existing systems.
So smarter analysis, predictive trends, better chatbots.
All of that. Leveraging cutting-edge tech, but without having to rip and replace everything you already have. It's about smart upgrades.
Makes sense. And for connecting really different systems, like old meets new.
That's where middleware and service bus solutions come in. They act like intelligent translators, traffic controllers, making sure data flows smoothly between, say, an old mainframe and a new cloud app.
Got it. And for the big players, the enterprises.
There's Enterprise Application Integration, or EAI. That's focused on connecting the big systems, your CRM, your ERP, accounting software, getting them all speaking the same language, sharing data effortlessly. So if you tie all this together, for Australian businesses, what does it really mean? It means automating workflows, slashing those human errors that cause so many headaches.
Yeah, the ones that ripple through departments.
Exactly. And critically, it frees up your team, lets them focus on core business activities, innovation, customer service, not just manual data juggling or fixing mistakes. It's about enabling people to be more productive, more engaged, working smarter, too. The tangible benefits for your business.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What does all this integration tech actually mean for your bottom line? The sources, they really highlight some seriously impactful benefits, stuff that hits the P&L.
Right.
Let's kick off with enhanced operational efficiency. It's not just about less typing, is it? The real insight seems to be eliminating the hidden costs of manual reconciliation.
Oh, definitely. That's a huge drain for so many businesses here. The lost time, the errors that cascades, the delays in making decisions because the numbers don't line up, sales figures don't match inventory. C9's approach tackles that head-on, turns reconciliation headaches into smooth, automated flows. Staff aren't burning hours transferring data or fixing mistakes. They're doing strategic work, customer-facing work.
Right, which leads nicely into the next point. Seamless data synchronization.
This is absolutely critical. Imagine every part of your business, sales, stock, customer service, reading from the exact same page in real time.
The single source of truth.
That's what C9 built. Real-time data consistency across everything. No more gaps between what's in stock, what's sold, customer's last interaction. It just eliminates so many problems.
Prevents those awkward customer service moments, I bet, and allows for faster, better decisions.
At every level, yeah.
Now, this next one sounds really interesting, especially for growing businesses. Scalable integration solutions.
Yes. For growing Aussie businesses, scalable is the magic word. Because without that foresight, your own growth can become your biggest enemy, your biggest bottleneck. Systems can't keep up, processes break down under volume. C9 designs these flexible solutions that grow with you. They can handle new systems, more data as you expand.
So you're building for the future, not just for today. You can add things, change things, without a massive IT overhaul every time.
Precisely. It gives you agility. You can pivot, acquire, launch new things. It's like building a digital spine that's strong but flexible.
And that flexibility ties into customized integration strategies, right? These aren't just plug-and-play boxes.
No, absolutely not. The sources really stress this. C9 creates tailor-made strategies. They look at your specific goals, your existing tech stack, your market, especially understanding the diverse Australian business landscape.
Because a finance firm needs different connections than a manufacturer or an e-commerce store.
Exactly. One size fits all just doesn't work here. They build something that fits your unique footprint, maximizes the impact, the return on investment.
And that impact extends to the customer, enhanced customer experience.
Directly. The sources quote this: "A unified view of customer data across all touch points enables personalized interactions and faster response times."
So your service rep sees everything. Order history, past queries, preferences, instantly.
Yeah, imagine how much better that interaction is. Faster, more relevant, more helpful. It turns a potentially frustrating call into, well, maybe even a positive experience.
Definitely elevates the service level. Now, the big question for the execs listening: cost effectiveness. How does this stack up budget-wise?
It's a key point. And it's not just about saving money on buying less software.
Okay.
The real cost effectiveness comes from getting more out of the tech you already own, eliminating redundant tasks, avoiding the huge cost of fixing manual errors that hidden drain.
Right, the rework cost.
By integrating systems smartly, you don't need multiple overlapping tools. You make your current tech stack work harder, more efficiently, better ROI on existing investments.
Makes sense. And quickly, the sources also mention improved user experience for the team and real-time data.
Yeah, simpler workflows for your employees, better morale, better productivity, and live data straight from the source means you're making decisions based on what's happening now, not yesterday or last week. Critical.
Having the pulse of the business live. 3. The C9 advantage: expertise, security, and comprehensive support. Okay, so integration itself offers huge benefits. But what makes an integrator like C9 really stand out, especially for Australian businesses? The sources talk about the C9 advantage.
Yeah, what's really striking is their experience. Their track record is, well, it's impressive.
How so?
We're talking 18 plus years doing this, over 350 projects successfully delivered, and expertise across 100 plus different technologies.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really speaks to a deeply seasoned team, API and direct integrators who've seen pretty much every challenge, every complex environment you could imagine, particularly here at Australia. They have this deep institutional knowledge. It's not their first rodeo, as they say.
And the technical skills, what are we talking about?
Oh, it's broad. They handle everything from established tech like .NET to modern front-end stuff like React.js, Angular, back-end like PHP. They're fluent across the board.
So they can connect pretty much anything.
Seems like it. They work across all the major clouds, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and the specific systems they integrate. Huge list. Payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, Accounting Zero, MYOB, naturally.
The big ones for Aussie businesses.
Definitely. Plus all the major ERPs, CRMs, even complex specialized stuff like medical platforms. And crucially, for businesses with older systems,
Yeah.
they can securely connect that legacy on-premise data with new cloud platforms. Using clever tech like containerization, proxies, secure VPNs. That's massive for protecting past investments while still modernizing.
Huge deal. Okay, let's talk security. That's got to be top of mind for everyone.
Paramount. Especially here, with our data protection standards getting tougher. C9 seems to take a multi-layered approach. It's not just one thing.
Like what?
Well, all sensitive data is encrypted, both when it's moving and when it's stored, using strong methods like TLS SSL. They use robust authentication things like API keys, so only authorized systems get access.
Right, controlling who gets in.
And what they can do once they're in. Role-based access control. Plus, a secure API gateway acts like a single, fortified checkpoint for everything.
Like a bouncer for your data.
Yeah, a very sophisticated one. They also maintain detailed audit trails, do regular security checks and patching, and follow best practices like the OWASP API security guidelines. They even build in protection against attacks like denial of service using throttling and rate limiting. It's comprehensive, protects data at every step.
That sounds incredibly thorough, gives you peace of mind. Now, beyond the tech and security, the sources also mention a customer-first mindset, end-to-end service. What does that mean practically? If I'm an exec thinking, this sounds complex, where do we even start?
That's a really common feeling, a valid concern. One big hurdle is often just understanding your own systems and data flows fully. Businesses sometimes underestimate the internal complexity.
Right, the spaghetti junction inside.
Exactly. C9 tackles this head-on with a deep discovery phase. They don't just ask, what do you want connected? They map your current setup, find the data knots, really understand the workflows before they build anything.
So they help untangle it first.
Precisely. Another hurdle can be internal resistance to change. New systems mean new processes. C9 manages this through clear communication, involving the right people early, providing training, and crucially, offering ongoing support.
So it's not just build it and leave.
No, it's a partnership. From planning right through to ongoing maintenance, making sure it works reliably long-term. Outro.
Okay, so let's quickly recap our deep dive today. We've really unpacked the power of API and direct integration for Australian businesses.
Yeah, how it can truly reshape operations.
We've seen the tangible benefits, better efficiency, much higher data quality, boosted customer experience, and real cost savings. And we highlighted C9's deep expertise, their really extensive track record, and those multi-layered security measures that are so vital, especially in our local regulatory environment.
And leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Given how fast digital transformation is moving and how essential connected systems are becoming, how might a tailored integration strategy do more than just fix today's problems?
More than just stopping the manual reconciliation pain or fixing data errors.
Right. How could it fundamentally redefine your competitive edge in the Australian market? Looking ahead, for the next 5-10 years, it's about building a business that's truly agile, truly future-proof.
That is a powerful thought, something for you, our listeners, to really consider. How could that seamless data flow, that automation, transform your specific business challenges into genuine opportunities? If you're an Australian business owner, a C-level exec, and you're thinking, okay, I need to explore this, remember C9. They are Australia's leading custom software, apps, integration, and database developer company.
You can find out more. Start that conversation.
Exactly. Head over to their website, www.cr9.com.au. That's c99.com/.o.
Check it out.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable, actionable insights today. If you found it helpful, please do click that follow button.
And share it. Share it with others in your network who could benefit from this knowledge.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep digging deep.